Hello everyone. Ugh, our family is sick this week, so please excuse the little bit raspy of a voice and like if I sniff, but usually I edit out all the sniffing and coughing and stuff. It's been a hot minute since I've actually talked to the camera. I took a little bit of time off over the past month, maybe a little bit more than that, a month and a half, but I tried to keep the videos consistent. So hopefully besides over Christmas, because I just needed a break that week. But yeah, I'm excited to be back. Happy New Year, happy 2026. I love the start of a new year. One, it's so refreshing to like look over what I did last year, the goals that I had for last year, and then I just love to plan the things that I want to do over this coming year. So, what we're going to do today is talk about that. So, I'm going to go over what I did last year and then share with you guys what my plan is for this coming year. So, I always choose a word every year. Last year, my word was balance. My main goal was to learn how to rest. If you've been watching my videos over the past year, you know my husband was deployed until April and he had been deployed for a year. So thinking of the word balance was going to be a challenge during that time that he was gone. But as soon as he got home, I knew it was going to be a little bit easier for me to learn how to rest more, because that was my main goal, was to learn how to rest, because I am terrible at doing that. And I break down my goals into personal, career, financial, and health. So my personal goal was to meditate, journal, and scripture study daily. I did do the journal and scripture for the most part. I did not meditate. So is that on my list to do this year? Yes, it is. And now my husband has challenged me for the next year. We're just seeing who can meditate the most amount of times over the next year. And then I have no idea what is the winnings of that, if that makes sense. My dog is cuddling. One enjoyable self-care thing each week that was mostly put on there because of my husband being deployed. I did do that because I went to soccer once a week and I loved it and I still love it. And then also, my friend suggested a book that's called How to Keep House While Drowning, and one thing that she says in there is, my home serves me, I don't serve my home. So I just wanted to keep that in mind going throughout my life and my day-to-day tasks, that I create a home that is to serve me. I don't need to like run myself to the ground serving my home, if that makes sense. So like my dishwasher serves me, my like appliances serve me, type of thing. Hopefully that makes sense. If you haven't read that book, it's a pretty good one. Personally, it called me out on a lot of stuff. It is a little bit hard of a read, and getting myself to do certain things was not easy because I want to get everything done. But yeah, it was a good one. My career one was to launch my cancer recovery program thing. You guys know I haven't finished that yet. It was a lot last year. Being deployed, selling our house in Texas, moving back to Utah. It was just a lot of stuff. That is my goal for this year. And I will get it done, because at this point it's ridiculous that I have not finished this. And then the next one was stay consistent on YouTube. So I did really well at that this year. There was a break at one point with like moving and everything, but for the most part I stayed very consistent, which I'm very proud of. And then pillars of parenting. I like to put my mom goals under my career because I am a stay-at-home mom, and so for me, this is my job, is to parent my child and to raise her in the way that I want to. So I have like the goal kind of mom that I want to be, the way that I want to raise my daughter, and there's just pillars so that when she's like throwing a fit about something or I'm getting frustrated that she's not doing something, I can think of my pillars and say, do I actually care about this? And if I don't, I'm not gonna fight her about it. It really doesn't matter. So that keeps a lot of arguments out of our house. It keeps a lot of meltdowns to very few. And they don't like escalate, hardly ever. because I always remind myself that I really don't care if she's doing something. Like if she's pulling out towels from somewhere, I really don't care because they can always be put back in. So my goal was to choose one per month to focus on. So I don't have 12. That's a bit absurd, but I wanted to choose one pillar and then one item that helps with that pillar that I can do. For example, only giving 3 commands per hour. So I can tell my daughter information like, hey, that chair's gonna tip over if you sit like that. That's not me saying, hey, you get down, sit down, a command. I just want to change to be more informative so she learns versus always be commanding her to do things, because then she just feels controlled constantly. So, and I don't like being that person who feels like she's never listening to me because I'm giving too many commands. So yeah, there's my little spiel on some parenting stuff. That one I want to do again for this coming year. I love how I said I'm going to talk about them separately, but I'm pretty much talking about them together. That's fine. And then financial. So I wanted to save for separate family and couples vacation. We did that. These are kind of more like me plus my family. We separate our budget in a certain way where like my husband gets a certain amount of money every month, I get a certain amount of money every month to ourselves that we can do whatever we want with. These were kind of mixed, but this year I have it set up so that it's only like my budgeted things are the things that are my goals. Her nails are so loud on this floor. Okay, and then I wanted to get some running and lifting shoes. I did do that. Also had my braces on there as well. We did get those and they're helping my bite a lot. I'm not chipping my teeth, but it also helps that I have something covering my teeth so they're not chipping. And then for health, I had my number one was to learn how to rest. I feel like I really did that this year. I learned a really good balance of after 7:30, I'm done. I'm done for the day. We practiced a lot on how to clean up the house before we put my daughter down, that she helped us clean up the house. So there were very few times where I was doing extra things. A little bit more when my husband was deployed, but I just like moved that time to 8 p.m. and later would be time just for me. So I did learn how to do that, and I learned how to actually rest, not numb rest. So like going on a phone is not rest. Going on social media is not rest. So I did a lot of puzzles. I did a lot of painting, like of my nails and stuff. Mostly puzzles, because my daughter wasn't quite at the age yet where she was as intrigued by that stuff. And we have that thing where I can roll it up. So that was the main thing. And then I loved something like the Great British Bake Off, where it's not numbing. Instead, you watch one episode and you're done for the night, but you're actually watching the episode, if that makes sense. So I kind of see that kind of media differently if you do certain things while watching it, if that makes sense. Hopefully that does make sense, because you can be numb watching something and like invested in it. My other one was to do one muscle up. I didn't get the chance to do like test that one before the year ended. I have that on my 2026 one as well, because I still want to see if I can do that. It's going to take me a while to get back up to it though, because I have not been exercising for like this month. December always like kind of drops off for me, as it does most people, but I never really care because January comes and it's right back up again. I did have the goal of reducing our meat intake over the year. I did not do that one. Life just got busy and I didn't have the mental energy to like find all these new recipes or find substitutions, all that kind of stuff. That is it for last year. I am pretty proud of everything I did last year. I did have on to, it's always been my goal, it doesn't matter what year it is, ever since I got done with my bone marrow transplant, I've always wanted to beat my college PRs. A lot of you know I played college soccer, so I have my numbers of like how much weight I lifted at a squat, a deadlift, a bench press. I think there's only those 3. And then we had other tests that we did, like a T-test, and which is a running test. I don't really care how fast I can run. Or like a 300 yard, I just don't care. At this point in my life, I don't care how fast I am. I do care how strong I am. So I did beat one of those last year that I'm aware of. I also didn't get around to PRing the other ones before like the year was up. So I know I beat my bench press, which that one was going to be the hardest for me. I don't build upper body strength very quickly or easily. And I beat that one by, I want to say 10 pounds or 5 pounds. So I bench pressed 110 pounds. Hold on, let me look it up. Okay, 2016. Okay, I beat it by 5 pounds. So in college, I bench pressed 105 pounds. In November, I bench pressed 110 for 3 or 2. I think it was 2, and the third one really wasn't a third. So I did it twice, which means I probably could do 5 more at a max out. But we'll just say 110. So 5 over. Oh, it's clean squat and bench. So this year I need to get a 200-pound squat because college was 195, and then a clean I did 105. So I need to get 110 over this coming year. So yeah, and then they also have push-ups. I should add that one as well. Okay, I did 36 push-ups in college. So I need to be able to beat 36 over this next year. I think I probably could have beaten that one. Maybe not. I'll work on that one for this next year. I'll add it to my thing. But for this year, my word of the year is build. So I will start with health because we just talked about that one. I want to beat all of my college PRs, which means I need to build muscle and do 1 muscle up. That's still the goal. I want to be able to do one of those because I just think it would be so cool to be able to say that I did one. And then I will add those other things, and then I'm gonna have to like build myself out a program, accomplish those over the next year, just like I did last year, which I'm kind of sad I didn't PR before the end of last year because I'm pretty sure I would have hit it based on the weights that I was pushing last year. Anyways, okay, that's a side tangent. Nobody cares about that. Financial, I want to go on 1 friend trip / weekend. Now that I'm in Utah, I'm more easily able to go see people. So I just want to plan either something a little bit bigger or something smaller. We haven't quite decided what we want to do yet, but that is one of my goals this year for financial. Don't really have any other financial things, which means I'll probably be saving for a new laptop when I completely kill the one that I do all of my work on. And then career. I am so determined this year to finish what I've been building. So I want to launch my cancer recovery program and get that finished and done and out to the world so it can actually help people. I want to completely finish launching my blog. If you've gone in the description, you've seen that the site is live, but it's not much on it. You can get like my nutrition prints that I created and sign up for like my email list once I get the emails going every week, but that's pretty much all the blog has. And then I've done like the about me page, small things here and there, but I need to get that completely finished and live, even though it's already live, but hopefully that makes sense. And then I want to keep staying consistent on YouTube, so posting at least once a week. I already know that I need some breaks within, just giving myself a break from editing, because as most of you know, this is actually not this channel, but editing video content is my actual job. I do that for so many hours every month for another company, and so I need to give myself a break from doing that plus my own stuff. But I love editing. It's so fun for me. I love editing like family's videos. I love editing our own family yearly video. Being able to capture stuff is just, I think, really special to be able to look back on. Yeah, that's why I want to stay consistent. And then for personal, I'm gonna try and do the meditation thing. I know it would be so good for me, and my husband also knows it would be so good for him. It's just like actually doing it. And we have Headspace. If you're military, you can actually get Headspace for free. We really shouldn't have any excuses. Oh, my feet are going numb. And then my daily journal and scripture study, that's always been the same every year. Okay, I cannot sit on my feet anymore. They're gonna fall off. But yeah, so I'll keep that the same. And then last year, I didn't have it like in my main goals, but I try to read at least 10 books a year. That gives me a little bit of leeway with really busy months. but I've read 6 in the past 2 months. So I think I could easily do 10 this coming year. I always have a list of books that I want to read, and I've grown my non-self-help list, which is newer for me. But over this next year, because I'm so focused on the business side of my life, I need to like slow down on the mom learning side of my life, especially where my daughter isn't at an age yet where we're starting school or anything. So I don't necessarily need to prepare for that right now. So it's a good like in between. Anyways, all that to say, I'm gonna slow down on the self-help ones and more so focus on reading for like pleasure and the rest side of things. Anyways, I hope you guys had a awesome 2025. I know it was a really big year for my family and everything that happened, us moving, coming to some place where we love living. Hope you guys had a really good Christmas and were able to like see family if you wanted to, or friends, or just people you loved. I hope you were able to see people that you loved. Yeah, let me know if you guys have a word for this next year. I love knowing what word people choose. It's so intriguing to me on what's most important, what people feel is most important for them over the coming year. And if you have like any specific things that you guys have on your list that you want to share, I'd be very interested to know, because I love talking about this stuff with people. Next week's video will be a very exciting one because I have been developing this recipe for maybe ever since we moved, so minimum like 5 months, and it's become extreme. Yeah, anyways, all that to say, I hope you come back next week because I'll share that recipe. It's a treat recipe, so it's a good thing. I'm just really excited to share it because it's gone through a lot of labor to try and get it to what it is now, and I'm just really happy with the outcome. Anyways, okay, that's a whole tangent. That's all just rambling, and so I'm just gonna close it out here, and I hope you guys have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.